Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Faiza binti Muhammad Zarifuddin. Today, I would like to present about mergers and acquisition concept. Every organization have their main objective where they want to get maximum profit every year to increase the wealth of shareholders by giving them higher dividends. Every organization must adopt different techniques and tools to maximize profit and can be able to survive in the fast-growing market. There exist certain events for which every organization must respond spontaneously to get maximum gains, like entering new markets, launching new products, and increasing portfolio. Then, the firm require financial resources to achieve their objective as quickly as possible to enjoy a certain monopoly in the market. In Asia Pacific, the merger and acquisition part has been popularly used as an external growth strategy. Despite the risk and uncertainty, Asia Pacific companies expressed the desire for merger and acquisition, with 53% of respondents saying that they are actively planning to pursue acquisition in the next 12 months. Merger and acquisition appetite in Asia Pacific has been unimpressed by COVID-19 and is higher than the Asia Pacific average. This was evident by the increased volume 45% from the EY Global Capital Confidence Barometer since 2010. Furthermore, companies also motivated by the desire to gain monopoly power and the potential of working out a financial agreement with institutions in the financial markets. Next, definitions of mergers. Mergers can be defined as the two or more companies are consolidated into one company. In other words, combination of two companies into one by either closing the old entities and change into new entity, or by one company absorbing into the other. Merger also is a financial activity that is undertaken into a large variety of industry. In merger, both entities combine and only one continue to survive while the other company shut down. For instance, private investment, financial institution, industrial, healthcare, and many more. After the merger happens, the scale of operation of companies will increase and more resources will more secure. Companies may undergo a merger to get benefit to their shareholders. The existing shareholders of the original organization will receive share in the new company after the merger. Next, the company also agree for a merger to diversify their offering of product and services or enter new market, which consequently increasing profit. This merger between companies will eliminate the competition among them, thus reducing the advertising price of the products. In addition, the reducing in prices will give benefit to customers and eventually increase the sales. This activity may result in better planning and utilization of financial resources. Generally, takeover means a company taking over the management of another company. In other words, an acquisition transaction becomes a takeover when the acquiring company purchases the target through a mutual agreement with the management of the target company. In case it is through a mutual consent, it is a friendly takeover, whereas if it not, it is called a hostile takeover. In hostile takeover, the bidding company directly approaches the shareholder of the target company, or attempt to replace the management to get the deal approved. There are 5 forms of takeover, which are bail-out takeover, friendly takeover, hostile takeover, reverse takeover, and creeping takeover. Next, we go to means of acquisition. According to Cambridge Dictionary, acquisition means the process of getting something such as a building or another company. In other words, a corporate transaction where one company purchases a portion or all another company's share or asset. Acquisitions also are typically made to take control and build on the target company's strength and capture synergy. In an acquisition, both companies continue to exist as separate legal entities. One of the company becomes the parent company of the other. With an acquisition, one company buys another share or asset, with the company being acquired sometimes remaining a stand-alone legal entity and a subsidiary of the buyer, and sometimes eventually being absorbed. The reason why company acquire another company because they may seek economy of scale, diversification, cost reduction to gain new technology, greater market share, and to enter foreign market. In addition, there are some challenges while doing acquisition on the business. A company usually has its own distinct culture that has been developing since its inception. Acquiring a company that has a culture that conflicts with yours can be problematic. Managers and employees from both companies as well as their activity may not integrate and anticipate. This can lead the employees become more antagonism and anxiety. Acquisition also may lead the employees duplicating each other's work or duties. It is happen when two similar businesses combine. There may be cases where two departments doing the same activities. Lastly, the challenge may happen is pressure on supplier. This is because when an acquisition of the company is capacity of the supplier may not be enough to provide the additional services, suppliers, or material that is needed, so this may create production problem. Merger and acquisition also may affect the image of the new company or damage the existing brand. Before the deal is made, an evaluation of whether the two different brands should be kept separate. Next, we go to types of acquisition. There are 7 types of acquisition, which are value creating, accelerating, consolidating, speculating, resources acquiring, stock purchase, and asset purchase. Lastly, we go to defensive tactic. In merger and acquisition transaction, a defensive mechanism, or also known as a defensive strategy, is a set of procedures that are employed by a target company to prevent a hostile takeover. As we know, hostile takeover is a type of acquisition in which a bidder takes over a target company without any consent and against the wishes of the management or board of directors. Generally, defense mechanism can be divided into two broad categories, which are pre-offer defense mechanism and post-offer defense mechanism. The pre-offer defense refers to a preemptive strategy. In other words, it is primarily used to either make the company shares less attractive for a potential bidder, such as increase the overall acquisition cost or set restriction in corporate government to limit the advantages to the potential bidder. The post-offer defense mechanism defines as when a target company receives a bid for a hostile takeover. For pre-offer defense mechanism, we have poison pill defense, poison put defense, golden paraquetus, and supermajority provisions. And for post-offer defense mechanism, we have green mail defense, crown jewel defense strategy, Pac-Man defense, and white knight defense. First, the poison pill defense, defined as the dilution of share of the target company to make it more expensive and difficult for a potential acquirer to obtain and controlling interest in the target company. The flip-in poison pill is the issuance of additional share of the target company where the existing shareholders can purchase at a substantial discount. It also provides an opportunity for target company shareholders to purchase shares in the acquiring company at a significantly discounted price. Second, poison put defense is also defense mechanism which can be considered as a variant of a poison pill where the aims to increase the total cost of acquisition. This strategy involves the target company issuing bonds that can be redeemed before their maturity date in the event of a hostile takeover of the company. This can lead to potential where acquirer must consider the extra cost of repurchasing bonds when the obligation changes from future obligation to current obligation. Unlike the poison pill defense, the poison put defense does not affect the number of outstanding shares of their price, but it may create significant cash flow problem for the acquirer. Third is golden parachute, refer to a large financial compensation or substantial benefit guaranteed to a company executive upon termination of their employment, such as might occur as part of a hostile takeover. Thus, they can be employed as another takeover defense mechanism that aims to increase the total acquisition cost for a bidder. The benefit includes cash bonus or severance pay. A supermajority provision is an amendment in the corporate charter stating that a merger or acquisition of the company can only be approved by the board if a large percentage of its shareholders, normally 70 to 90%, vote in favor. The supermajority provision that only requires approval from more than 50% of voting shareholders. Next, we move to post-offer defense mechanism. First, green mail defense basically refers to the target company buying back share of its own stock from a takeover bidder who has already acquired a substantial number of shares in pursuit of a hostile takeover. The term greenmail itself derives from greenbacks and blackmail, as the target company where is forced to pay a substantial premium over the current market price to repurchase the share, which is costly defense. The potential acquirer accepts the greenmail profit that makes from selling the target company share back to the target at a premium of pursuing the takeover any future. Second, Crown Jewel Defense Strategy. To fully understand, Crown Jewel are the most profitable or valuable corporate unit or asset that belong to the company. In other words, crown jewels are the company's most prized or valuable asset in the term of profitability, asset value, or future business prospect. For example, a company that operates as a manufacturer in the automobile industry may consider its crown jewels of production and manufacturing techniques or factories that it uses. Pac-Man defense, also one of the post-offer mechanism. Pac-Man defense occurs when the target company attempts to acquire its potential acquirer when a takeover bid has already been received. The acquirer is attempting to buy up a controlling number of shares in the target company. Likewise, the target begins to buy up shares of the acquirer to obtaining a controlling interest in the acquirer. This such strategy only workable if the target company has enough financial resources to purchase the required number of shares. Lastly, White Knight defense is a strategy where it involves the acquisition of a target company by its strategic partner, which called a White Knight, as it is friendly to the target company. The target company accepts the fact that of being taken over, but at least can be taken over or merged with a friendly company, as opposed to being the victim of a hostile takeover. In other words, a White Knight is a company or an individual that acquires a target company that is close to being taken over by a Black Knight. So that's all from me. Thank you.